Well, hopefully everything is working like it's supposed to work. All right, so we are in there. Okay. Definitely don't want to be there. Ah, lost all my bookmarks, huh? All right. Well, I guess we're gonna be freestyling it because I had a bunch of stuff set up here and it's not here anymore. Hmm. So anyway, man, what's going on with y'all, man? It's Friday night. You with your man Obi. I was supposed to have been on at 8 o'clock. I was over here, got kind of tied up making a beat. I looked up, it was after 8. And of course, YouTube wanted to give me a problem and not let me start my stream a few minutes late. So I had stuff up here, man. I'm supposed to be talking about the dorks, but we could still talk about them anyway and still find out some stories about them. But um, I don't know if anybody really been paying attention to this man's cabinet picks. Man, this man is wilding out. I'm trying to figure out why my camera isn't working today. Uh, oh, it keeps going out on me. I don't know what's going on with that. I was trying to get on camera today. Okay, so there is something, and then it says connections lost. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if my computer is doing the blocking or what. I just think it's pretty weird because it was just working yesterday. See, there it is right there. Uh, did it decide that it wanted to work all of a sudden? This thing is so weird. It is so weird. It's so touchy. You know what I'm saying? Like 1 minute it work, the next minute it won't. Anyway, how y'all doing? All right. I think I'm up there, man. Yeah, I'm up there. Yeah, I'm up here chilling, man. Puffing me a nice cigar. But like I said, man, it's Friday. What you got, Obi? Uh, this isn't even an hour. I mean, I had stuff playing, man. I think I said that before. But anyway, I just been listening to a couple of different live streams. People are finally starting to get caught up to these cabinet picks and how wild these cabinet picks are. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Um, Jesus, my camera is bright. I can't mess around with the brightness now. It won't let me. Um, but yeah, yesterday, man, I talked about it a little bit. Like I was saying, man, these guys are. This is. It's like a. I'm not gonna say everybody, but it's a bunch of dorks. Like people. The other thing I said too is we got a bunch of people who have been thoroughly rejected by the general public. Right. Um, they've been. They haven't gotten votes, or only one that I think really made any kind of a wave for real was RFK. The rest of these guys are like rejects and people who are really not qualified for the job that they're getting. Um, but hey, man, that's what you do when you're the man in charge. You kind of put whoever, wherever, and yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride, man. Because you like somebody like the Tom Holman guy, right? If you if you watch him when he has his conversations, he has a chip on his shoulder. It's like a lot of guys got a chip on their shoulder. A lot of these guys a lot of these guys and women that he's appointing to these cabinet positions are one inexperienced and two they got a chip on their shoulder, feel like they got something to prove. When you if you read any articles and you hear how Vivek talks about the workers, like he has a disdain for the workers. Get back to work or you can quit. And see, this is a problem that I notice with a lot of people here. Um, when it comes to addressing others, it seems to be that people have this thought that being nasty and mean and condescending to the people who generally you don't feel like you or you like them, especially when you're in a seat of power. See, Vivek has a problem with government workers in there. He gonna have a problem with everybody because everybody told him to get the hell out of here. He was a laughing stock. I'm surprised that Trump even gave him a position. I'm thinking that it was a time that he wouldn't even speak to this man. See, because you got the type of people taking these positions right now that are very, what I will consider untrustworthy. Um, because anybody who will grovel at the same foot that they were talking bad about a little while earlier, those people are opportunists and they aren't to be trusted. Most of the people that's in this man's office have had nothing but bad things to say about him. See, but when you have when they have an opportunity to get in the seat of power, man, they don't care. So really, like I said, man, this entire election cycle is going to be an indictment on the entire government. See, we still got people want to play these games about whether I'm left or I'm right, I'm Democrat, I'm Republican. But I do believe in these coming years, we're gonna get a good reason. Say, bro, could you do me a favor? Can you turn that down, just that light down, just a bit, not all the way down, just down. Thanks, man. All right. Yeah, that's good right there. Yeah, I had to get the light turned down 'cause it's kind of bright in here. But like I was saying, man, in the next 2 years, yes, if you don't see like um, a small shift, because it's gonna be because we don't have anybody to pass it to, so of course it's gonna volley back and forth between the Democrats and the Republicans. But like I was saying before I stopped talking, I feel like this is gonna be an indictment on the entirety of the government from top to bottom, because um, this election kind of exposed them for being um, they're not very good managers of anything. Um, it's also exposing them for their childish and petty behavior. Them trying to, on their way out the door, starting stuff like a war. You see how the people who lost the election are acting. You still have people disowning each other. Um, so it's like this whole cycle is going to be very very interesting to watch. Like I said, man, you got these guys like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. You know, they've been a butt of a lot of jokes, and they generally only respected by a small community of people. A lot of people don't really respect them. I heard somebody saying Vivek was a businessman. I don't really know what he does. Okay, besides have a fixation on black people for some reason. So I don't know what company he's running. He's a pretender. He tries really hard to fit into um, white America. He has gotten it down almost to what he believes is a white accent. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person he is. See, he's giving people like this guy a seat with some power is it's gonna end up backfiring on Trump because he's an annoying motherfucker. Okay, he gonna annoy Trump. I don't see this. I don't see this cabinet making it 4 years. If this cabinet that he has right now makes it 4 years, I will be surprised. I'll really be surprised because, like I was saying in another show, the ego on these people will not allow for this cabinet to last for 4 years. It just won't. It's not gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna happen. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's get this camera changed over here. like I said, man, I'm just really starting to run this stuff for real. So these struggle streams, enjoy them while you can, because the more I learn is the better I'm gonna get. So let's get here and see this here. Huh? Let's see this here. This is gonna work. Ah, there we go. All right. Yeah, because it was um back to what I was saying. Like I said, I'm still learning how to run this entire setup. But um I'm just really interested in seeing how a lot of this stuff is going to work out, because I know that department that they just made up for Vivek and Elon, um, I think it's outside of the government, which is I okay. So their plan to make the government smaller was to create more government. That's how you already know this shit finna be stupid. But then they try to disguise it as not being government, so it's outside of certain jurisdictions or whatever, but it's still fucking government. So in order for you to downsize the government, you're gonna make more government. Okay, so and then his plan is to force people from telework back into offices, which he knows is very unpopular, which means he's in his head, in his dumbass mind, because he a dumb motherfucker. He think he gonna get a bunch of people to quit. The fact that he really thinks this is gonna work out well for him, and he's gonna get something like this done within a 4 year span, just lets you know how inconceivably stupid these guys are. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that, but they are, and it's kind of scary how stupid they are, man. It just Linda McMahon as the education director, and then the education director, and still have this thing talking about, oh yeah, we might just get rid of the department altogether. So I'm hoping that, like with the abortion issue, they pass it on to the states, which is probably should be in charge of the states anyway. I think it pretty much is, in a sense. But just in case it's not, because they do a horrible job on the federal level with a lot of that shit. And I really would like to see less hands on with children when it comes as far as the federal government goes, because they're very much out of touch with whatever the hell is going on, man. So, uh, but it's been an interesting couple of days watching these cabinet picks roll out. Um, watching I don't know. It's not even watching people be surprised, because I'm just watching the media. This isn't something that I expect a lot of the people that were heavily involved in the election to be involved in. They already disappointed. They mad. They don't even care at this point. A lot of them are hoping that these guys tear up everything so they can get a chance to come back in and virtue signal some more. So um, it's just I'm gonna try to see if I can run across something that um so because he's talking about an aggressive recess appointment. I mean, they already, like, because I know this stuff isn't Trump. This is already the goons that he have around him. Because they know he only has a certain kind of understanding as to what he's really doing. So they know they can come to him with stuff and give it to him, and if they explain it in the way that he get it, they can kind of slide stuff past them. And they're gonna like I'm saying, man, they're gonna have him doing shit that gonna have people scratching their head, because these aren't people who really have um, the nation in mind. They, you if you are conservative and you really think that these people are gonna fix everything or fix the country, period, like, bro, you have to look at who they hiring. They're not hiring competent people. Okay, they're hiring people who got a certain type of fame to themselves, but they're not very competent people. They have competent people that work for them, that report to them, that do a heavy share of the work, as in as with most of these guys. They're not really like the brains for real. They're like the people who got the money, you know. Um, so I was just watching on. I was just looking on here for something. Um, as far as these cabinet appointments, um, I know a lot of people are scared of this Pete Hes. What's it, Hegseth? And yeah, he looked like a psycho. He looks like the psycho type. Um, let's see here. I see something that say Elon Musk is might be buying struggling MSNBC. See, it's like I said, dorkiness. He going to do some dorky shit. See, because it's like they not mature. People like Elon and Vivek aren't mature people. They aren't mature at all. And we're going to see them do a lot of childish shit because they was mad about a lot of shit that go on went on with them, the way they've been treated, the way they have been laughed at by people in their circles because they're not to be taken seriously, the same way they don't take Trump seriously, which is why I still can't understand how you got beat 2 times by a game show host. And now we have a wrestler, a wrestling company owner, and a guy who got his dad's money and made a couple of weird, quirky companies that really don't benefit anybody for real, except for a certain set of people. And you got this guy who really wants to be a white guy really bad. These are the people that are in charge of the country. None of these people seem like they have any. These people don't seem like they have the best self esteem. You know, it's a lot of stuff, man. I'm telling you, man. It's get ready to be a really big ego party, man. It's the ego party is get ready to be crazy. For real. The ego party is getting ready to be crazy. You mark my word. Cuz if you still remember the last time Trump was in office, how many people this man ran through? How many people did he really run through? He ran through a lot of people. Okay, so I found this video from the Hill. It's gonna kind of. Hopefully, they gonna explain this stuff to us a little better. And I don't know. Let's see here. Try to do a couple of things here. Yeah, gonna let's do that. All right, here we go. Hopefully, I won't stay froze up there too long. So, all right. So let's see. This is a video from the Hill. It says GOP senators warn Trump against aggressive recess appointment move. So I'm still getting an understanding of this. So maybe we can get in. Maybe we can see this and get a little understanding here. So let's see. So, oh, you're not gonna give us any sound, huh? Where are we at? Here we go.
Is to use Article 2. On these confirmation hearings, we know that Trump has been putting pressure on Senate Republicans to fall in line and potentially allow recess appointments. And one way his transition team is looking to accomplish that is to use Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution and essentially force an extended recess. But it kind of seems like Republicans aren't 100% on board with that idea and they're pushing back, correct?
Yeah, it does seem that Republicans are starting to pour cold water on this plan. Basically, President-elect Trump, his goal is to have Senate Republicans go into recess for an extended period of time. Then he would get to appoint the cabinet that he wants without any type of Senate confirmation. The key issue that we're hearing here, though, is constitutional separation of powers. That is very much put into place for the legislative body to be able to look at the executive branch's picks and decide whether they want to confirm them. And we're already starting to see some pushback from Republicans saying that they still want to have that power. So I am starting to expect some more pushback that I'm not sure President-elect Trump is going to get to push through some of his nominees based on this. And we are starting to see some Republicans, stand up to him in a certain way that they do want him to be able to have his picks, and that's why I expect some of the more controversial picks will still ultimately get confirmed. But I think that it's probably not going to be through recess picks.
All right. Now you see, like I said, a bunch of crazy shit, and that's not that's not his idea. Trust me, that is not his idea. That is not his idea at all. See here. Yeah. So yeah, I just in my heart of hearts, I don't believe any of that is his idea. Um, like I said, he has people like Steve O'Bannon still calling shots. He has Stephen Miller, and these guys are snaky. Okay, they are very snaky people. They're very slick people. You can't trust them. Excuse me. So, I'm looking forward to it because it's gonna be crazy. Y'all mark my words. It's gonna be so crazy. Uh, let's see here. I'm over here looking for some stuff still. Supposed to be doing me some homework tonight. So we're not gonna be on here too long. Plus it's Friday. Nobody's watching. See what I can find here on X today. I got some stuff bookmarked too. Um, I think I had some stuff yesterday. I got some stuff to tackle on like just a a, a night that we just kind of cruising and not having anything in particular to talk about. Uh, I'm really mad because I had a few things set up for us to go over and to talk about because we had gotten into Linda McMahon. But like I said, these are all dorky dudes with chips on their shoulder. I was talking about the Holman guy.
And taxpayers should.
All right, so let's see here. Y'all probably heard that in the background. That's pretty freaking loud. Let's turn that down some, just a little bit, just a little bit. Hopefully, people can hear this. But let's see here. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna do this right here. All right, come on now. This guy, we're gonna let a video play. Um, but this guy, the Holman character, Holman, he is very angry. He angry still about ICE. He's still mad about ICE and the way that things ended with ICE in regards to him. So he has a very strong vendetta against even his own government, his own team. These people are supposed to be so patriotic, but they really hate the other side. Let's just look at the type of attitude this guy has.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without?
I mean, look at how he talk. Let's go back and look at that again. Let's go back just a little bit. Where are we going back to? Look at his face. Look how he looking. Look at his face. Look at him. All right.
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out?
Like, hey, yo, I give it to her though. It's because it's one or two things with this lady. Either she is like incredibly patient, or she ain't really. She dingy, and I don't really think this lady is that dingy that she doesn't see or feel the heat coming from this guy. But see, with these type of people, that's your best weapon against them. If you're not gonna be like physically intimidating to them, is you gotta be like she is, and you'll see he'll get even more and more irritated because she not giving a fuck.
About mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there's. Families can be deported together.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Yo, this dude is wild.
Of course there's. Families can be deported together.
He said y'all could go together. Okay? That, because I'm telling you, because what they want to do is, what they want to do is, stop that. Stop that thing where you came here illegally, but you have a kid here now. So now you have an anchor, what they call an anchor baby. These dudes are trying to get rid of that. They don't really want to be involved with that. So they wildin', man. They wildin'. They wildin' for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. It's crazy. What am I doing over here? And I mean, look at this guy's face. You could clearly tell he mean business. You can tell that he means business. Just look at him. Just look at him. All right. I'm gonna put my ugly mug back on this camera while I look for at least one of my stories. Is this damn thing stuck too? Okay. I don't know why it does this. Every time I switch and I switch back, I have to do this. So take it off. And then I have to put it back on every time I switch between my cameras. I'm not sure why it does that. Because first I used to think it was because I had an older computer, but I got a pretty expensive computer now. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, this is a video too. I got that. I'm not. Let's see here. Let's looking for something about Vivek's whiny ass. Vivek. So what we got in the news about this? What we can see. So yeah, let's look at this right here. This MSNBC, since they pretty close to being out of business. We're gonna talk about them too. But this say Musk and Ramaswamy. Is that how you say his name? I don't care. Lay out a brutal plan for American austerity. So, in typical fashion, you have these rich people who don't have to worry about shit. Austerity doesn't count for them. Austerity is for you. See, because for some reason we have these rich people who seem to think nobody deserves anything, and they seem to think that everybody's getting these things free and easy. And like I said, these guys are fucking dorks. So they definitely don't have any pulse on anybody because nobody fucks with them outside their circles. And they're yes men. And their yes men are dorks. Okay, because if you a yes man to one of these dudes, you are definitely a damn dork. It's I was at first I was kind of excited to see somebody besides the Democrats win because they ran a really shitty campaign. They ran really shitty administration. I didn't, it never crossed my mind how fucking ignorant this guy really was, and I forgot how down home doofy this guy is, and that he was gonna have other down home doofies, on his side. And the thing is, for confirmation's sakes, they ain't nobody's gonna challenge any of these confirmations, even though they know some of these people don't supposed to get these seats. But like I said, it's a game of groveling. You know what I'm saying? It's a game of groveling. Whoever in charge right now, everybody gonna kiss his feet. When he get out of the office or he get out of line, they be the first one to turn on him. It's like wherever the wind blow, these guys go. You know what I'm saying? So, we all we I was said in my show yesterday, we were in trouble as a country any way it went. At the end of the day, these guys up on Capitol Hill all are chummy and they work with each other because they can't have one without the other. Um, it the I don't really see because I'm like I said yesterday, who is going to be responsible for these people? They're the ones that's responsible for everything. Who's responsible for them? Right? You don't even have people that you can really call trustworthy in Congress, in the House or the Senate. And anyway, let's see here. I am trying to get better at this switching thing. So let's put it up here. Okay. So this says Musk and Ramaswamy lay out a brutal plan for American austerity. Let's get this out of here. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's Wall Street Journal op-ed about slashing government programs borrowed from an Argentinian plan that caused a massive spike in poverty. Like I said, you have professional idiots with power and with a grudge against the people. See, they have grudges against people because they want to be embraced. Okay. They want to be fawned over. They want to be considered to be the president. They want to be taken seriously by the people. They want to be taken seriously by their peers. Their peers don't take them seriously. Why you think they didn't have any cabinet? They didn't have any positions in the government until Trump got in office. And they already knew the way to him. They don't even like him, but they know to kiss his ass is the way to get you a little something. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, just a little bit. So, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, co-leaders of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, an advisory group recently announced by Donald Trump. An advisory group, like I said, they're trying. This is how stupid they think you and me are. Because they don't say this is part of the government, they can say that, well, we aren't adding to government. We are slashing the government. So they went and made a government entity, basically, called it an advisory group, and then want to say that we need to shrink the government. Like, it's, what's going to happen. See, because this is what I give I'll give this much to the Republicans. They aren't going to let you fuck up their shit. Okay? Um so I guarantee you are going to have some outliers when it comes to these people because for one they don't even respect these guys. These guys have a grudge um they have a grudge mostly against Congress, against the House. You know, the Senate is mostly Republican guys. You know, the Senate pretty much the big boys. You know, mostly everybody that you don't like is a senator. Congressmen are fast becoming equally hated. But yeah, those guys don't belong anywhere near any power governmentally. Um, so you know they on a crash course, man. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off this again. Let me get back on this. I'm just still floored over the fact that it's an advisory group. So you put these two clowns in a room and asked them to build you a blueprint for a circus. Got it. When you peel back the layers of whimsical, gauzy tech bro speak, their ideals can be boiled down to one principle: massive cuts to federal programs that, when deployed elsewhere, have caused calamity. Because that's what they want. That's exactly what they want. They want people in a bind. When they get people in a bind, that's how they can twist arms and do what they want. You know. So these guys, and then they tech dudes. For some reason, tech dudes are really horrible people. I don't know what it is, but they dorks. I'm telling you what it is. I know what it is. They're dorks. They have a chip on their shoulder. They grew up. People ain't never respected them. Even when they have money, they not respected. People still laugh at you, call you all kind of names, even though somebody told you when you made it to this point, you know, you were supposed to get all the respect, you know, all the admiration. Everybody gonna be a fan because you got money. But I'm telling you, if you a damn dork, you can be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. You still a damn dork. Okay, you can put all the hair implants in your head you want. You can buy all the slick suits you want. You can get your teeth whitened and straightened. You can do all the things that you can do to make you look and feel like a white man when you ain't, or an important white man. Let me put it that way. At the end of the day, you are still a damn dork, and they can't get over that because ultimately, when they get from around that yes man and other dorks that look up to them, no, it's a very small number, and they're not highly respected. Anyway, the op-ed is light on specifics. Musk and Ramaswamy claim they'll use lawyers and advanced technology to sniff out what they claim are thousands of regulations they think should be cut. Ramaswamy, for the record, has absurdly suggested cutting 75% of the federal workforce in the past, along with disbanding agencies like the Department of Education and the FBI. In their op-ed, Musk and Ramaswamy claim, without including any actual proof, that cutting these regulations will justify cutting throngs of federal jobs, though they say that their department will help support the fire employees transition into the private sector, aka go work for our buddy Jeff Bezos or one of these other slave drivers for a lot less money. See, I'm telling you, I keep telling people crying and falling out. I'm like, man, you ain't gotta do all that. You don't have to do all that. Just give these dudes a little time. That's all you gotta do. Just give them a little time because Trump is not being very smart right now. He being friendly. Okay, this isn't the time to be friendly and let people stroke your ego. And they're gonna get in there and they gonna rock your boat, buddy. They also claim Trump has unilateral power to stop Congress from funding government programs he doesn't like. This is a ridiculous right-wing legal theory that Musk and Ramaswamy predicted will be affirmed by the Trump-packed Supreme Court. But on Wednesday's episode of All In with Chris Hayes, it's justifiably prompted House Democrat Caucus Chairman Pete Aguilar of California to encourage the two men to read Article 1 of the Constitution, which lays out Congress's authority to act as a co-equal branch of government. Op-ed be damned. I think Ramaswamy summarized the aims of his group much better earlier this week when he openly endorsed the idea of instituting Millet-style cuts on steroids. Stupid. 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 That's what's really at stake here. Brutal cuts to the government. As I've written previously for the blog, Argentina's president Javier Milei, institute severe austerity measures that cause his country poverty rate to skyrocket above 50% in the ensuing months. Musk has proposed similar cuts to the ones Milei instituted, and Ramaswamy clearly thinks even more crushing austerity than what Argentina has experienced should be on the menu for Americans. By the way, he said Musk and Ramaswamy, both billionaires, should push these cuts to the very limit. To see how this kind of austerity has worsened poverty and malnutrition in Argentina, they got a Reuters report that say check out below. Musk and Ramaswamy's department doesn't have actual power to impose these kind of cuts on its own, but one can tell from their op-ed and their previous statements that they're going to use every tool at their disposal to pressure the Republicans who do have real power to carry out their frightening fiscal vision. Because that's why I said eventually somebody gonna go tell both of their ass to go sit down and shut the hell up. Or the way these people operate, you keep messing with them and some shit gonna come up about you. You doing too much. That Vivek dude, he mad, man. He mad at the people. And he want to punish the people for not allowing him to run as a president. Nobody voted him in because they already knew he's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. I don't know. Let's I see this little video right here before we get back into that. Let's get up here, right? All right.
1998, Viktor Orban was defeated in a 2002 election, which his party claimed was rife with fraud. For 8 years, Orban sat out of power, stewing on a plan to claw his way back. Masha Gessen, New York Times opinion columnist, writes, quote, in the interim, he consolidated his movement, right, positioning himself and his party as the only true representatives of the Hungarian people. It followed that the sitting government was illegitimate and that anyone who supported it was not part of the nation, end quote. When Orban returned to power in 2010, he made sure he would stay in power by gerrymandering parliament, filling the courts with loyalists, and gifting himself emergency powers. Imagine that. He hasn't left office since and is the longest-serving head of state in NATO. Now, Orban proudly refers to Hungary as an illiberal state. Orban is the type of leader Donald Trump aspires to be. Trump has lavished praise on Orban. In fact, he did so in his one debate with Kamala Harris. He has said, they say he's a strong man. Sometimes you need a strong man. And in the wake of Donald Trump's ascent back to the White House, Masha Gessen has been leaning on lessons from elsewhere, places democracy has failed or never really existed at all. In a new column in the New York Times, Gessen holds conversations with Balint Magyar, a Hungarian author and scholar of autocracy, to understand how a people can gravitate toward Trumpism as a balm to their problems. Quote, liberal democracy, Magyar says, offers moral constraints without problem solving. A lot of rules, not a lot of change, while populism offers problem solving without moral constraints. Magyar isn't interested in calling Donald Trump a fascist. He sees the president-elect's appeal in terms of something more primal. Trump promises that you don't have to think about other people.
See, it's a president that is very, how do you say it? his orientation is toward um, people who don't do a lot of thinking, not a lot of heavy thinking. They just go to work, they come home, they play with their kids, they eat food, they might pay some bills, they go to bed, and they do the whole cycle again. Um, there are a lot of those people out here who just kind of live life on autopilot, and they would rather not have to worry about things, a lot of things, beside the basics. But what's gonna happen with this whole entire? Like I said, I don't even. Within the first year, you're gonna see some bullshit, and you're gonna see some people get ran off, because they're a little too eager. Like I said, he has gotten an entire cabinet of people with a chip on their shoulder, including him. So he just said, "Oh, y'all mad like I'm mad? Okay, I'll give you his position." That's because that's how he will operate. Oh, you feel like I feel about so and so? Okay, I'll give you a position. See what you can do. Now, I'm telling you about Trump is he gonna get you up out of there if you gonna make him look bad. See, because right now he has his own echo chamber that's patting him on the back about all this stuff. Yeah, man, that sounds great. Da, 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 da. But what it sounds like is he just really trying to circumvent his own people because he don't like them either. They are part of his problem. His own party. His own party. They don't really respect him because they know he a game show host and he's kind of a doofus himself. He's like a dork himself, a dork with money. My dad had money. Saved me from being a mediocre man, which I would probably be if I didn't have the supposed money that he has, because there's still a question on whether he has that. So I don't know. This is not very good. I don't really like Velshi, but I'll watch a little bit more of it.
End quote. Masha Gessen joins me now. They're an award-winning opinion columnist with the New York Times and author of several important books, including Surviving Autocracy. Masha, it's great to see you. Thank you for being back with us today. You write, quote, Trump's first term and his actions in the 4 years since tracked the early record of Putin and Orban in important ways. Based on that, what do you think we're likely to expect?
So, as you said, I reached out to Balint Mandjar, who's sort of my intellectual guiding light.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's enough of that. Ooh. All right. Yeah, man. But like I said, man, these two goofballs, man, we got to be careful of these guys. What is this right here? Okay, yeah, we looked at that. Let's see what else we got up here. Oh, come on, man. Got two screens on. All right, there you go. Get this up here. All right, there we go. I'm back on. Yeah, but it's this is get ready to be something fun to watch. I'm interested in seeing how much cooperation RFK gets for whatever it is that he's gonna do. I want to see how this Tom Homan character, how this Homan character gets himself together, and how he goes about the day one stuff that he's talking about. It's just, but I think Trump already had the person that he wanted, to be in some leadership role. Tim Scott didn't make it, so Gums McGee didn't get chose again, which I am very surprised that he doesn't have a cabinet position. Which maybe that's why they didn't give him a cabinet position because they were planning on him being in charge of something else. But who knows? Who knows? This is gonna be because I think he gonna get a lot of opposition from his own party, especially with the stuff that they got coming down the pipeline right now. Because you got to think about you still have to stay within good graces of a majority of your party. You can't see because this is what the Democrats did, and I believe the Republicans are about to do the same thing. They're gonna go and they're gonna find that little small corner of constituents and the ones that are most agreeable, and that's who they're gonna cater to, and they're gonna alienate the other constituents because that's the time we're in. I mean, those are the type of people he have. Did you if you run across this struggle ass stream and you heard what I said earlier or what I just read about this dude and what he want to do? This dude says 75% of the government can stand to be cut, the FBI and somebody else. And, but to make it so bad, they don't have any power. They just doing a bunch of talking. So really, Congress could say, "Man, gone. We're not doing that." So, which I do believe that's gonna happen, and I do, and what I suggest is the Democrats get their shit together ASAP because you're gonna have an opportunity again to right the ship. I don't think they're gonna do it. They spending way too much time crying right now, and not enough time um, getting the troops back together. Get up, get yourself up, dust yourself off a little bit, go train and hit the gym a little harder. Run a little farther. And come back a little stronger. But they're not doing that. They are further insulating themselves from everybody over there, blue sky. So the other thing I think all of this wildness from both of the parties is doing is just making the desire for the third party even bigger, even larger. I mean, because, you know, you have people who are Democrats, they don't turn to the Republicans. Um, you could be an independent, but a lot of people want to belong to ideology. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really feel like being an independent has a very one strong ideology to it. It's just what I feel like an independent is you are policy driven. So ideologies don't work much for you in the terms of politics. You just want to get the best policy, and you want the best policy makers. You want the most serious policy makers. Yeah, you have things that you want that you can consider left leaning. You got things that you want that you consider right leaning, or you may be a one issue voter. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So yeah, at least I had one viewer yesterday. I don't have a viewer today. Yeah, supposed to be looking for some other stuff. What time is it? Yeah, we're gonna get up out of here soon anyway. Um, other thing too before I get out of here. Watching people really at this time of the year disconnect with their family over um over this stuff, man. Sorry. That's gotta be some of the most unhealthy shit that I've seen in a long time. It can't be that important because what happens once gravity, the initial gravity that you feel dies down? Because it's gonna go away. You're not gonna keep that same feeling for 4 years. It's not gonna happen. So when the gravity of that situation no longer exists for you, um, you gonna want to reconnect with some people because some of the people the people are disconnected from aren't bad people. They just had a different person they wanted to vote for. So there are people who are actually disconnecting with some of their favorite people over this. And it's very short sighted. Take it from a guy who doesn't have like his own nuclear family, no kids or anything. Just sometimes it's something I think about and I feel bad about. But at the same time, I my extended family is very loving. So take it from a guy who probably lacks in one area but has an abundance in another area. And it's never anything that I'm not gonna say it's never anything, but this shouldn't be something that small and insignificant um, that takes you away from your favorite people. So I don't know. Just if this message reach you, just think about that. If you're one of those people, because right now, if you're dealing with the left, man, it's tough. They haven't found this show. Because right now I'm talking about the right, but I haven't really gotten into talking about the left yet. Uh, they getting worn out enough. Um, I do want to talk about cause as a black person, I know I watch them do it, kind of neglect their strongest base, and people have to understand um when something is guaranteed, like the black vote's been guaranteed, it's not really a purpose in doing anything for that. It's guaranteed. It's sort of like, say for instance, you get a stream of income that you don't have to touch or you know it's guaranteed it's gonna come. Say for instance, you won $1 billion in a lottery and you take the payments. Those payments are guaranteed as long as you alive, as long as the lottery system has the money, which if they sending you $1 billion, they got the money to pay you. They're gonna pay you your money. So that's not gonna be something that you're gonna wanna you ain't gotta worry about it. And it's kinda like that. They won a lottery with us. And it's guaranteed money every 4 years, every 2 years. It's guaranteed money. Um, because that's why I said, people tell you stuff as a black person that you only make up 13% of the country. I don't believe that. No, nah, I wouldn't believe that. Even, at one time that probably was the thing, and that still probably wasn't. That's probably never been a real number. You have to understand, not to get off on another tangent, but you have to understand that that's like the census. Everybody don't participate in the census. I still don't believe we know what the true number of people who live here. We don't know how many people truly live here because we got too many people who fall through the cracks. we still talking about we got 330 million people. We've been saying that for 10 years. I know we got more than that. So um I don't know. It's this is definitely not the time. Well, okay, I'm sorry. No, I apologize. I don't think that this is the time because I'm not gonna tell you what's a good thing for you. Because you do what you want to do at the end of the day. That is something that you'll have to deal with on your own. But I not this time of year. Not even because you need help, but this is just always a stressful time of year for a lot of people. Um, you have people who have parents they experiencing their first major holiday without them. Um, you got people who have traumatic events that happen on these holidays. Uh, you know, so for in my opinion, you kind of blessed to not have any of those situations, and you were within a family unit that loved you a lot, and you loved them a lot, and they just had a difference of opinion. You might want to rethink that. Because what you definitely don't want to do is follow the internet crowd because you gotta, excuse me, you have to understand the internet is full of lies, man. I've been watching a story here lately about a lady who says she married an older guy because she's supposed to have money. And he supposedly touched her kids, but the internet is going to automatically get on something like that, especially when you got a little name to yourself. And I think I seen that story about her 2 days ago, and people saying they feel sorry for her, and today they finding out a lot of it is a lie. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I don't know. It's a lot of crazy, man. Listen, the when I name this show, "Let the Games Begin," that's exactly what I meant. Let the damn and I got Vivek and Elon up there, but it's a lot of shit that we can include in that damn circus. I didn't even get into Elon too much because he not doing most of the talking. He gonna be the tech man, and then they talking about they got technology that is secret to them. What do you mean? What do So we gotta see what these guys doing, man. These two are about to piss themselves because they can just taste the power. I seen something that said Elon Musk was thinking about buying MSNBC. And you know what he gonna buy MSNBC and do? And just he gonna go buy it and he gonna lay off a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? Just so it's just like they want to turn some screws on some people, man. I'm gonna say it again. You are dealing with people who have been thoroughly rejected just about every arena that they've stepped in. They done made good money, but nobody respects them. Nobody respects them. They don't respect them. They respect their money. They know that you can do things for them. So of course, glowing reviews, because it's how that part of the world operates. They all kiss each other's ass because you know that's what we do. You're the greatest, the smartest man in the world. He's Tony Stark. He ain't no damn Tony Stark, and he's not the smartest man in the world either. 'Cause they be propping these people up, man. They be propping these people up, but I still ain't seen this man do shit for real. But walk around and look like he busy with other people. I ain't saying he a dummy. I'm not saying that he don't have things that he's done, but I don't think he's the man that they be trying to convince me that he is. just like the Bezos character. He's just a guy, a fucking dork with a bunch of money, living out his wildest dream because he got money. This dude is sitting in there with an astronaut suit and a cowboy hat on. He's a fucking joke. You know, and these people have lifelong grudges because they grow up being treated certain ways. I mean, look at Bezos. Bezos had a wife that was probably out of his league. She got tired of him and left him. He's one of the richest men in the world. She took her little chunk of pie and got on down, and then went and got a damn near regular man to chill out with after that. Because he's a dork, and she had to wash the dork off of her. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's so much, man. Because it really is. It's so much, man. And I guess you can. I guess we can kind of take Tulsi Gabbard seriously, but she's a traitor, which means, you know, she'll flip on you when she ain't happy with how you do. Of course, some of them people did her wrong. They put her through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she do got a reason. But when you see somebody quit and go to the other side, that's a different thing. You know, for you to quit and go into a whole nother arena, you know, take care of your business that way, do something else. That's one thing. But when you quit us and then you go to the rival, that hit different. As the young ones say, it hits different. And it does. It hits very different. Well, what did it say? We have officially hit an hour. We can get up in a few more minutes. I gotta figure this out, how I can get all the stuff that I need into a folder. Let's look at this right here. What'd it say? All right, I got another video for us right here. Let me see here. Ooh, I need to get a good shave in. My face breaking out. Gotta go get me a mask, man. Me one of them black tire masks, man. Clean my face up. All right. Where are we at here? So, this says, ex-CNN anchor who ran for Congress says Democrats have become the party of status quo. What y'all think? You think I think that status quo thing is for real too. Because they don't like to deviate. They don't even, like I said, when you seen this election, you see this in real time, status quo. They are not going outside of the box. Everybody needs to be who everybody always been. They don't want anything different. What do you mean you start thinking about what? You're not here to think. You are not here to think. Wild times in America, man. Wild times in America. Hey, I hope my volume isn't doing what it did to me yesterday. But yeah, we put a let's make sure it's up there. I had to put a boost on my stuff, man, because yesterday it wouldn't play. On my first day, it wouldn't play. So, all right, let's get here. Okay. Well, I guess it would help if I unmute it. I guess it would help.
I kept thinking about one of my favorite quotes from Bill Clinton.
He said people will vote for strong and wrong every time. And I think the Democratic Party has a strength problem on the issues that matter most: personal safety and economic security. I think those are the fundamentals. And Democrats got to get off defense and playing offense. They can't be the default party of the status quo. I think that's the most dangerous place to be. And I think right now they are seen that way. And so people will take a chance if they seem like they're bold solutions on the other side, even if it flies in the face of facts.
Yep. And the funny thing about all of this is everybody is throwing the Democrats a lob on what's wrong. And guess what the Democrats are doing? The Democrats aren't listening. I gotta find some clips of these ladies at the View and just do a whole show on them, because they are a microcosm of, one, how the Democrats lost, two, how they're gonna lose again. You know, it's like, you know, their party members, the voters, were like, hey, man, this is why you lost. This is why we didn't show up for you. These bright spots are like, oh, no, that's not what you mean. You mean this. You have been disinformed. You can't possibly, that can't possibly be the reason. You're bluffing. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I slowly watched them become the party of the rich. They are about neck and neck with the Republicans. Republicans will tell you that they for the working man, but they really not. I don't. At one time, I could get people's infatuation with the left until they really ramped it up on the lion. But let's see here. I hear my granddaughter in there crying. Dang, I lost my train of thought there. Well, yeah, I just watched them. They kind of neck and neck with the Republicans. They are. I don't really see one party being much better than the other. Like right now, they not. To me, they pretty. You hear people say it. I hear people say it all the time. They the same party. I get it. I believe it. I believe it. I feel it. Because nothing encapsulated that more than hearing Kamala Harris be excited about Dick Cheney and his daughter giving her endorsements. And she sat right up there on a View and told him, yeah, I'm going to have Republicans. Yes. And to them, they were taken aback because it's kind of unheard of for them to be having that level of, let's say, chumminess with the guys across the aisle. That's typically not how that goes. But they both are corporate parties. If you think about it, some of these donors kind of switch between the parties when they figure out who they like. This year, I'll pay so much to them. They call it dark money for a reason. So, because it ain't that many people out here running around with enough money to do that kind of thing. So dark money ain't nothing but coming from nothing but probably a couple of sources. People probably know the sources. It's not hard to find out. It's not that many people around here, or that many companies or entities for that matter, that got that kind of money floating around. Yeah, but we getting off on tangents that are way off the subject. We were talking about the dorks. The dorks that are up to bat. So, I wouldn't I mean, the stuff sounds spooky. Sound like it's some business that you don't want to be a part of. But being honest, um, I don't really, we got mechanisms in place for this type of thing. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure somebody would have been done it. You already got the union leaders for the government workers already saying that, yeah, you're not gonna just get a chance to do that willy nilly. Because that's what they forgetting. These people got unions. People have tenure. You got to go to Congress about certain things. And what they're trying to do, the dorks, they're really trying to get away or to get around that. So, you know, some people I heard were shaking in their boots about some things, and maybe some of those things that they were nervous about is valid. You know, I heard Ricky Smiley have a meltdown. We gotta find that video too, so we can study that video. But there ain't gonna be no more elections. Yeah, the government's set up in a way that kind of thing might not work. And why you do have a lot of people within the government that are fucking hawkish, they're not that. So I don't think if he was to try to do anything weird, I don't think he would have the easiest time doing that. And believe it or not, a good portion of more than half of their followers would be up in arms about some shit like that. And then too, he old as hell. It really wouldn't make any sense for him to do it at this age. He wouldn't and be and enjoy it too much because he on the other side of things too. So right now, I think it's just a lot of bluffing. Um, you know, just a lot of talking. What I'm gonna do to you, that kind of thing. Before you even get a chance to do anything. So, not saying that I don't believe they're gonna try anything. They got the Supreme Court. You know, it's just it's sudden it's precedents that they don't want to set to. So it's a lot of thought that got to go into a lot of those things because you have to remember, it's still another side. There's still other people out there, um, that either just outright oppose or they have their own agendas. It's just a show right now. It's a show. It's we got so much stuff going on that we might be in the middle of World War III and they can't even focus on that because they got other stuff going on. They arguing about men and women's bathrooms again. Um, so there's a big fight on Capitol Hill about that again. Like that is to them. See, this is why I feel like they're gonna have trouble again. In 2026. I mean 2026. Yep, 2026. The midterms, and they probably gonna lose another election because they're not gonna get up off what they on. They seriously in their mind think that it was some kind of mistake. I still hear people talking about, well, they're still counting. Well, the results are in. He won the electorate, so you can win a popular vote, and that doesn't mean anything. So they doing that for nothing. Then they talking about, well, can we get him to step down for the last 2 years? Dorks. Don't just think the dorks are just on the right. We have a dorky government period. Have you ever looked at some of these people? Like you can tell that they just they have always been the dork. Those are the type of people that make it to that stuff typically. You got your outliers. But mostly people who do that stuff are like people that you probably pushed into a locker or some shit if you were a high school bully. Most of those people are. Of course, now we got people, we've convinced each other and other guys that you can lift a little weight and call yourself alpha, and that takes you out of your dorkiness, but you just a dork with muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, pretty much. So, um, just I just tell y'all this. I mean, it's okay to be spooked, but really just see it as entertainment, man. Um, you know, get your ducks in order. Um, like I ain't trying to tell you to go out here and make all the money in the world and be rich and own 5 businesses. Like unreal. I'm not here to tell you unrealistic shit. Just try to carve out your comfortable zone. Like you can have people gonna tell you that you need to be doing this, you need to be just the greatest thing that you can do for yourself is create peace and comfort. Because if you're comfortable and at peace, it's very easy to get other things accomplished. People probably won't preach that. Most people that I listen to want to wag their finger at everybody, and you're not working hard enough, and you need to have 3 jobs, I'm really not. I mean, yeah, money's nice. I will never say money's not nice. But creating a place where you comfortable and have a peace of mind, that shit's priceless. Like you can't even enjoy your money when you ain't at peace. You can't enjoy anything. And what surprises me about a lot of these self-help people is like peace is like never in their conversation because they're not peaceful people. They're frantic people most time, which is fine, you know. But going through these kind of times that some people going through, because it's kind of fucked up, the best thing that you can do is to go find somewhere to be at peace. Because I'm telling you, that's the basis for moving forward on a lot of this shit. Because if you ain't at peace, man, you can't think about nothing. You can't make a move. You can't, it's hard. So, and you'll fall victim to the dorks, and they'll rule your life for the next 4 years. And every time you get up in the morning, they'll be on your mind, and you'll be giving them what they always crave, that the attention, having somebody finally actually be scared of them. They get to live out their little fever dream and their fantasies. So if you hear this and that's something that's how you feel, man, just chill. They're gonna fuck it up. They are. If they don't fuck it up, you can come have a conversation with me about it, but there's nothing about there's nothing that says greatness about any of this. Okay? Like I should be probably more nervous than I am, but at this point, man, it's already bad. But like I just said, I'm at peace. I don't got a place where I'm peaceful, and so I'm not, so stressed out about any of this. I wasn't gonna. I don't support the Democrats though. Don't get that twisted. I'm not a fan of the Republicans either. I guess you can call me independent. There are some things that I liked about Trump when it comes to his thing, talking financially. I'm with him to a point on his immigration stances because I don't believe that we should have a lot of people here that didn't get vetted, at least, because I'm gonna get my money regardless. Like I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna ever be in competition with those people, but the shit that I do for my money I will rarely cross paths with any of these people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not scared of that part. And I think they should be able to, they should have to go home and they should have to wait a number of months and maybe get an opportunity to to see if they can sign some papers to get back over here. But if you done came over here without permission, then you need to go home. I mean, I'll say the same thing about any American abroad that's not supposed to be there. Take your ass home and do it the right way, because you make it hard for us here to take this stance when you were somewhere that you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to have been gone 2 years ago. You still floating around, which I understand. I think it's insane that you can't just move somewhere in the world. You got to ask somebody to move somewhere. You know, I think that's insane. But I kind of understand why those kind of barriers exist. It keeps the anti-nationalists from out of your midst, so you don't have a bunch. I mean, it hasn't protected anybody from having these incidents, but the idea is there. You know, just that sense of ownership shit, man. So but we gotta watch the dorks. They in power. You know, the main two, they're gonna steal the show, cause everybody else pretty much got sense. Those two don't have any sense. They don't, especially that Ramaswamy dude. I trust Elon more than I trust Ramaswamy. I don't think Ramaswamy belongs anywhere near anything. He needs to go sit his ass down somewhere. You know, and I'm telling you, he gonna be the one that get everything blowed up because he can't shut his mouth. And he'll be the first one on the outs. If they don't find a way to say that they can't even use this newfangled thing that they created, if they don't find a way to oppose that and say that's not something that we can have going on. These two men don't have a government position. They shouldn't be making any decisions about the government at all. Of efficiency according to whom? So see, when I said yesterday, we probably gonna spend the next 4 years being subjected to old white male terror. That's what I mean. They just come in, make up stuff. You know, they start making up rules. They start thinking that they don't have to have anybody's permission to do stuff. They just, just menaces. Just old and old ass menaces. A lot of them. They've been menaces their entire life, but now they seasoned, they veterans. So, this is, and the left doesn't have strong men. The left don't allow strong men. That's why they don't have any. You hear them talking about, if we only had a podcast that could rival Joe Rogan, and because you don't allow those type of men to be around. When you do, you call them toxic. You all pile up on them. They say one wrong thing, you're gonna cancel them. You're gonna call and get his fired from his job and all of this shit. So yeah, most men who would be able to carry a message of strength for the Democratic Party have left. When you look at the representation in the news of the men that they have up there from the left. Like, they don't ever have anybody up there that you be like, hey, he got his testosterone is running over today. You don't ever say that about those guys. Ever. I'm going to leave it at that. But surviving in the Democratic Party as a, how do they say, straight-laced guy, straight, traditional masculine leaning men, with opinions and strong stances and The word escapes me right now. Um, Standards. That's what I'm looking for. Those kind of men are not accepted. Now I'll tell you what though, some of those women have those men as husbands, boyfriends, best friends, because those are really the men that most women want to be around. And instead of the Democratic Party opening that door for those type of men to be included in things, because for some reason I guess they kind of scared of that, them losing that authority to those men, which would be very easy to do because people flock to that type of thing. So, you know, they don't really allow that because they would lose the party, and they would lose the party very quickly to those men. Because you got, when you look at on the left, even the president, soft handed, like he got bullied by Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. The president, the guy with the mic, with the bully pulpit, he got bullied by Joe Manchin, who is like now, I think he running for the parliamentarian, so he can stop some more shit on their side when they try to help people. Like at some point, I wish Manchin would just take off the mask and say he's a Republican. But I don't know. I guess that's a story that we'd have to try to get into at another time, because that guy right there is he a pain. He is. He's a pain for real. But yeah, if the left had strong male presences, they would be able to combat people like Vivek and Elon. If they had the type of men that stood up for something, didn't go do things like pull fire alarms. It's you know it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I am very lucky because I travel. I go to other countries. I haven't had to have the conversation about our government, which makes me appreciate being black sometimes, because a lot of people mistakenly think that we don't really keep up or know about that type of thing. So I, that is something that I appreciate them thinking I'm ignorant of. I appreciate that because I don't want to I don't want to have that conversation because it's embarrassing. I don't. It's like nothing to be proud of as far as the government goes when it comes to this country. And I think when people say they have a problem with the country, they're not talking about the country in general. They're talking about the government and the way that things are handled. But I think most people love being here in a general sense. It used to be a lot more free. It used to be a lot more fun. Like I said, every year that passed, more dorkish people started to be in charge. We got a mixture of dorks, and then we got like, um, I want to say mad men. They may not exactly be mad men, but they sure are teetering on it. And those power. They got dorks, and you got the power hungry guys who kind of joystick the dorks, move them around a little bit, control them. Then you got the guys with the money, the shadow dudes in the back that every time something substantial comes up for you or me, they stand up with their stack of money and say, we'll give you this if you don't do it. You know, because if you do this, then some of them going to stop working for my company, and then I'm going to have to up my pay in order to attract people. So could you not? I would rather pay you this money than them. Because if you don't think these people hate your guts, and if they could do away with having to compensate you for your body and your time, they would. You know, that's why they don't care about doing stuff like pushing a button and going into World War III and then going home and getting into bed. Because they don't care. Shit, if worse come to worse, I got a bunker I can go lay in. I mean, I don't understand what they think gonna happen once all this over with, and they have to come back up the top. But I guess they got their own plan for a number of slaves they want to take with them or something. Who knows? Who knows what because these people crazy. You can't even put nothing past them. Can't even put nothing past them. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's Friday night, man. I was supposed to do some homework. I am already behind. Man. So guess what? We gonna do it in the morning. I am finna relax. I have had a very long day. I have been on this crazy computer trying to figure out this whole live stream thing and how to make it sound and look better. And it's not working. I got my professional camera with my professional lenses, and I'm still grainy. So we'll have to see what that's about and moving with why I am. But I do believe it's the camera program that's not allowing me to make real changes. So, I got to get my hair retwisted tomorrow. Got to get my face shaved. My birthday is next week. I'm going to get on here and do a show tomorrow sometime. Don't even know when. That's the other thing is I got to get a solid schedule for this. I gotta get some real structure here. So these have just really been sort of kind of test runs to see if I wanted to get myself back into any of this kind of thing. So I feel like I'm enjoying it. Even though nobody's watching, I feel like I'm gonna have a breakthrough, and I'm gonna look up there and I'm gonna see 3 people. I'm gonna be like, what's happening, my trio of friends? You know what I'm saying? So I had one person watch yesterday. Whoever you are out there, I appreciate you. You watched for the entire show too. I thank you for that. But, hope everybody has a great night. I will be back tomorrow if everything works out the way that it typically does. And I will see you guys then. Beware the dorks. And don't let the dorks scare you. You scare the dorks.